Deaths across the world, Ros, are continuing to grow. We've just seen another day of record deaths with this virus as the world approaches 2 million official COVID deaths in the next 2, 3, 4 days. We will get there. Let's have a look at Brazil, which is again becoming another epicentre for this virus. That major wave that we had seen subsided as the situation was taking off in Europe, but it's coming back again. 64,000 cases a day. That's the number from the last couple of days. And another issue that's emerging out of there is, as you say, another mutant strain of this virus. It's a third one, so we've got B117, the UK one, B153, the South African one, the ones that were discovered in those countries, and now one discovered in or traced back to the Amazon rainforest that has some similar looking attributes. And this is the same one that's also now been picked up in Japan in some travellers who'd returned from Brazil. That is a concern as these numbers continue to worsen, not just in Brazil, but also in other countries in the region. Bolivia, 176,000 infections and counting, had a wave where infections peaked at about 1,800 cases and are now seeing another spike. The former president of Bolivia, Evo Morales, has also just tested positive to coronavirus in the last day or two, and that situation is worsening in Peru. We've got, a curve that doesn't look as bad as some of these other countries on the face of it, but the public health infrastructure in Peru is pretty bare bones. There's less than 2,000 ICU beds in the country, and officials there are very worried that system is coming under strain already. We're seeing now, as the situation is still quite bad in Europe, the curve is subsiding in many countries, but the Americas, both north and south, are again becoming epicentres for this virus.
Now, China then, Casey, we've been talking about the WHO investigation into how the pandemic began with our correspondent Bill Birtles, and a handful of cities there are back in lockdown.
Yeah, they're back in lockdown, Ros. 3 cities near Beijing, all back in lockdown over a cluster, a breakout of cases that is, by world standards at the moment, relatively small, but it's the biggest numbers China's had since July, 155 cases, and we're now learning that there has been another COVID death recorded in China, the first in a very long time, as this new sort of outbreak rears its head, and China's again taken the approach it has every time there's been a cluster, that is to go cast a very wide net, go the absolute maximal response, lockdowns, mass testing to bring that under control. One thing we should always remember with China's numbers, though, China reports just symptomatic cases as official cases of COVID-19. That is, they're just reporting the diseases rather than all infections. There are a number of asymptomatic infections found every day as well, reported separately. So the numbers you can't always compare them as apples to apples, but 155, the biggest number since July, and another big lockdown. Massive inconvenience, but the history shows that sort of approach gets these under control very quickly.